What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today we are back with The Witcher Season 2, Episode 2. If you guys saw my previous review, which you can see in the iCard, hey, got the direction right. You can press the iCard up there to see my previous review. I liked the first episode of the season. It was a really, it was a faithful adaptation of one of the short stories from The Last Wish that they didn't get to last season, and I liked that episode a lot. And again, this is another episode with a creature, and we deal with that situation. So the whole Monster of the Week thing is definitely present in this episode, and I like that. I hope we kind of continue that to a certain degree. But a lot of this episode has to do with Yennefer, and I feel like Yennefer's story arc so far this season is going to be all about setting up the bigger story and setting up the world building of the world at large, and that's where her storyline comes in. Now we start off with like a dream scene, and I will say I read the first two books, but we're getting into some territory where I haven't read the novels yet, so I can't comment on how well it adapts or where it's different from the novels. I'm gonna try to get to it before season 3, but as of right now, I can't comment on that stuff. But so when this episode starts off with a dream scene, I knew it was a dream scene right away. It didn't fool me. Geralt comes in and it's like all happy and she's pregnant and stuff. And yeah, I just instantly knew it was a dream scene. And in general, I like the kind of trippy stuff in a lot of movies, but I don't know, it feels out of place in The Witcher. I wasn't like looking for a dream scene. It feels like a kind of, but it does come into play later. They have this shared vision. Yennefer and the other witch lady and one of the elves has dreams about somebody in robes, and that comes into play at the end of the episode, and we'll get to that later. But so at first instinct, I'm surprised they're going with this whole Yennefer really wants to get pregnant thing. I don't know if that's in the books or not, but they're picking up on that from last season. But so we get that little opening scene, and then they wake up, and first viewing, I'm like, come on, do we really need that? But it does establish things later, and now they are captured by the elves. We get introduced to the elves. We get some cool world building stuff. We get introduced to, is her name Francesca? She's cool. I like this character, and they got a good actress here. I will say, in general with these scenes, I do feel like, in general with this episode, we are kind of like in a rush to get through the dialogue. It almost feels like we don't let stuff breathe as much, and this happens a lot in movies and TV, especially TV, because you're trying to constrain the time and all that. I don't know, it's not as atmospheric as I feel like it should be, and I kind of want to see a little bit more of the elves and like how they live. But we're just speeding through dialogue and stuff, and it's a lot of tell don't show in this episode. You can't avoid that to a certain extent with all the world building they have to do in the show. But it's the oldest writing advice you'll get is show don't tell. We're getting a lot of telling in this. It's not bad, but I like overall. I'm just gonna say I like this episode, so don't get on me. I like the previous episode a little better though. In general, but there's a lot to like here. So, I do like the dynamic between Yennefer and Francesca, I think is her name. Don't at me if I got it wrong. But then we get to Kaer Morhen with Ciri and Geralt, and I love this set. And Kaer Morhen, we were waiting to get here. I didn't think we were just going to show up here next episode. I thought we'd have another like traveling episode. So I was a little surprised that it was like, oh, well, it's in the title of the episode, but I wasn't necessarily looking at that before I just pressed play. You know what I mean? So, but I like this great hall, and Geralt's entrance is great. We get introduced to Lambert here, who you guys might know from the books or the games. And I like what we do. I like how we're introduced to him, and he's telling a funny story about he was hired to fight a monster, and it turns out that it's not a monster, and that the guy who hired him's wife is cheating on him with somebody, and it's a funny story. So I like that introduction to Lambert, And then Eskel comes in, and now I don't know how I feel about this part of the episode, okay? Because Eskel is a character throughout the books. He's in all the games. Is he all the games? It's a lot of the games. So I like the Eskel character, and this guy, he's instantly like the most interesting of these characters that we're introduced to, because he's like a little darker. He's got a secret, but it turns out that he's infected by this creature that he said he killed, and they make it really obvious when he's introduced, because he's like feeling at his shoulder, and you're like, okay, he got infected. Like I knew it right away, so I don't know, it was a little obvious to me what was going on. And we'll get to the part at the end. I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll get to that in a bit. But I do like this introduction, and I like how Ciri kind of stands up to... She's, like, laughing at Eskel, and then Eskel kind of comes up to her and, like, I don't know, just tries to intimidate her, and it doesn't work. And I like that. She has the confidence. She introduces herself as a princess and all that. I really like that. We get this fun training scene with Geralt, and then Vesemir and him have a conversation, and they do really great with Vesemir here. You know, Vesemir is like a character I really like in The Witcher, the games especially, and I like this conversation that they have. So yeah, this is all good, and we have a Ciri looking through. Again, I don't know if we need Ciri looking through all the rooms, but then, you know, Eskel kind of confronts her, and he's kind of making her understand that this is a place that was not fun to grow up in. So I like that dynamic. And here we are back with the elves. We have them, you know, discussing their dreams, and then they need to come up with a plan. And I don't know, something about this, like, I wanted to see more about the elves, and we're just, like, dealing with them from the captor's perspective, and I don't know. I didn't feel like it was the best introduction of the elves. You know, I feel like something was missing for me. But again, there's nothing really wrong with it. And there's some good world building here. And then they're trying to convince this guy using their dreams, and like, you know, Yennefer's fourth elf, so she's trying to use that. And I like this dynamic here, trying to get on their good side. And that's a good scene there. And this guy's a good actor too. I forget his character's name at the moment, but that's okay. and then we got Geralt kind of dissecting the remains of the creature that Eskel brought back. And I like this scene too. And this set is absolutely awesome. Like, look at this. I love the set dressing here. And Ciri, I'm really enjoying how she just, like, never listens to what anybody tells her and stuff. And, you know, getting to know her as a character is definitely, I feel like, going to be one of the major parts of this season. So I like what's going on there. And then I gotta watch what parts I click on here, because YouTube get mad at me. But then Eskel, you know, is being a little bit sus. He brought back a bunch of, like, you know, prostitutes or whatever. And that's not something you don't bring strangers to Kaer Morhen. You know, it's a secret place. We had that established already. So, you know, Geralt's not happy about it. He confronts Eskel about it. And I like this scene here where, you know, I guess this lady here knew Geralt many, many years ago. And Geralt, they're discussing, she's like, oh, I see you have a daughter now. And then he's like, she's not my daughter. And then she says, you know, I'll bring her back with me. And then the guys will go crazy for her. And then he gives her like the most evil look. And then she's like, you say you're not a father. Love that scene. Getting at the themes, getting at, you know, Geralt taking his role as a guardian, you know, very seriously. So I like all that. And gotta watch what I'm clicking here. YouTube get mad at me. And then we got the confrontation, and they almost have like a little fight. And I like that bit. And of course, Ciri's here. She disobeyed Geralt because that's what she does. And then this scene comes up, and I'm like, we just had this scene. They're like, oh, we need to have a plan. We just talked about this. But then we get to meet the leader, the elves again. And again, I feel like this scene, you know, we get a new location, so that's cool. But I feel like we got to meet the leader of the elves like twice. I don't know, maybe it would have been stronger if it was just this time. I don't know, maybe I'm off base on that. But we get some more world building stuff. I like the artwork they have on the walls here. It's cool. Learn about the conjunction of the spheres. I forget if we were introduced to that concept before, but I already know it, so I don't, I couldn't judge if that's actually the best introduction to it. But then we discuss the dreams, and of course, Yennefer doesn't want to reveal what her dream was really about. So they just kind of ignore that, and then this tomb thing opens up. And this part of the episode, I'm not really as hot on. We'll get to it later. But so here we get Ciri and Vesemir having a discussion about the first Witcher, whose name Kev or something. And this is a good example of where I feel like the dialogue's a little forced and maybe could have used a little bit of revisions. So Clef here was one of the first Witchers, right? And then she responds with what happened to him. I feel like that's not really how somebody would respond. Like, I don't know. You wouldn't ask what happened to him if he's dead. Obviously, right? So, I don't know that I feel like that's, again, it's just she says that so that Vesemir can respond with, the story. So, I feel like it's one of those times where it's not natural sounding dialogue and we're just getting exposition here. It ends up, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just an example where the dialogue's a little stilted, not necessarily natural or like what the characters would say in the moments. And, maybe, I feel like maybe she would ask, did you know him? Or like something. I don't know. I feel like what happened to him isn't really how somebody would respond to that. But, maybe I'm off base here. And then we get, Lambert transformation. We get it revealed. You get to see his shoulder and the, roots crawling out. And again, predictable, honestly. So wasn't surprised by it in any way, so. And then we get this scene here, and we get more exposition here, and they're talking about the dreams again, but this is a part of the episode where I'm talking about, the atmosphere. We're going into this place, into this mysterious, magical place. I would have rather not been talking about the dreams at this point, and if saying anything, talking about what's going on around them. I don't think we should be talking about the dreams at this point, so I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments for sure. But we come up on this cabin, and then there's this white flash of light, and then we cut away from that. And again, it's like, I almost feel like we're doing a little bit too much back and forth. I would have rather, stayed in that moment. We come back to it later, but, I don't know. The atmosphere, you can't really get into that headspace as well when it's intercut with all this other stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm off base on that. Let me know what you guys think. And then we get, they know they're in danger, and now they are, securing the guests, as it were, and with, Geralt's going down to fight, and, I like this suspense building. Any of the monster stuff in this season so far has been excellent, so I have nothing to complain about here. And then we get this, cabin scene, and I'm not wild about this scene. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we got them, waking up on the floor, and it's fairly repetitive, and the effects, I don't know, it just feels not good. I don't know, it's just, it's forced, it's not, the effects aren't working for me, it's too digital. The mounted camera thing on the person, they're trying to make it, trippy, but they don't go far enough in that direction, and it does feel out of place in, the Witcher universe to be using these kind of... We have a lot of very composed shots in the show, and everything's very, David Lean, clean. And then we're getting shots like this. It just feels very out of place. I know we're going for out of place because it's, such a magical, mystical scene, but it's just not working for me. It's just, repetitive, and the effects, the blur effects, it's just entirely too much. And it honestly, it makes it look cheap. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base. Let me know what you guys think. But this scene just didn't really work for me. I like the idea of the scene. You know, they each see this person whose name I forget again. But this person has three different people depending on who they are, and it ties in with their dreams earlier. And we get like the prophecy, and I played the game, so I know about the prophecy, and I think it's in the first two books as well. But we get the prophecy, the world turning to frost, and we get like a little previews of what's to come here. But I don't know why it just didn't really work for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And here's another part. Like I turned the subtitles off just now. We get these words here. It's a flashback to her training scenes last season. But why would you put subtitles for and then not translate the words? I don't know what the point of the subtitles there was. Just point that out. The girl actress that they got for Yennefer, I think does it really good. She's very good at bringing that intimidating, powerful energy. And then we get the true form here, and we get this like wrist slicing stuff. But I don't know. It just felt a little bit too, I don't know, too many effects, too many. It just didn't work for me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I like the ideas. It wasn't landed for me. And then we get this scene here, and Geralt is confronting the monster. And of course, we know going in that it's Eskel, but he doesn't know that at first. And I love this monster, man. Dude, the monsters are killing it so far. I really like this. But here's my issue. So, Eskel dies in this. Eskel is a character that's really, I don't know if maybe he's coming back to life or something. But I don't think this happened in the books or the games or anything. And he just is killed off. And are we never going to see him again? See, that's the thing. Like, he was if they were going to do this and just kill off the character, they should have given him a different name and just made it a new character. I feel like, it's a missed opportunity. Unless he's coming back to life in later episodes and something. But, I mean, these effects, dude, amazing. They put the budget into these monsters so far. I mean, we got Nivelle in the previous episode. We got Eskel right here. Really good. And we still get the eye and stuff. We still get that human aspect as well. Anthropomorphic thing going on. And I like how we brought Vesemir in the fight. And that's another thing, is like, we don't know Eskel well enough to be like emotionally attached, so him dying isn't really like it doesn't have that emotional impact I think you would want. So I don't know, maybe I'm off base on that. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I like this action scene here. I like Vesemir going with the hooks. We use the atmosphere to our advantage. That's always good. And then Geralt, like, Vesemir is being choked, and then Geralt, like, I like he's using Igni to heat up the sword. Awesome, love that. And it's been established you gotta, burn through the heart to kill it. But I get having him hesitate because Eskel's his friend, but he was just like staring for too long. He was staring at him, and it's like, what are you doing? Vesemir's gonna die, bruh. And I do feel like maybe, was there another way out of that? Maybe he could have cut the vines choking Vesemir, and maybe they could have found a way to cure Eskel or something. I feel like, it is ultimately the right choice, but I do feel like maybe we should have had them try to contain him in other ways. And they were like, oh, what can we do? Is there something we can do to cure him, etc.? I don't know. Maybe I'm off base on that too. Maybe it's like they know it's too late. I forget this creature, the back story of it. And then we just have Yennefer waking up here. And that's kind of how the episode ends, more or less. We have a montage at the end. But, again, with this stuff, the atmosphere and it's just like smash cut to this. And being intercut with other stuff, it's kind of hard to really get in the zone. In terms of being immersed in this part of the storyline. So, and I'm not entirely clear on all that really went down. I think I'm gonna have to watch it again. But, yeah, so I don't know. This part of the episode didn't really work for me, but that's okay. And then we get, Ciri and Geralt having a little conversation. It's a good monologue at the end. I do like it. I do feel like this montage, I don't know, it feels a little cliche how it's played out. But I do like now that we're bringing out, okay, Ciri's training begins now, whereas earlier he was, kind of against it. And then here's this part where Yennefer's like screaming. I feel like I completely missed something. What is she screaming about? I don't know. What did I mean, amazing acting. Don't get me wrong. I just don't understand. I can't get in the character's headspace of like, what is she upset about? Definitely hit me up in the comments. I only watched this once, so I'm gonna watch it again. I think just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I'm not really sure what she's screaming about. Let me know what you guys think. And then we got this little scene, and that's it. That's the episode. I like this episode. I had a bit more issues with this than the previous one. I don't know how I feel about Eskel dying like that. I feel like it should have been a new character if they're just gonna kill him off, unless he comes back to life. But yeah, we had that funeral scene with Vesemir hanging up the necklace he had and all that, and I like that part. So yeah, I mean, solid introduction to Kaer Morhen. I like Vesemir. I like Lambert, and I like that we got to know those characters a little bit. The Eskel thing, again, I already said my piece on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We'll be back again with episode 3 tomorrow, and then we'll see how we might just do a review for every episode. Let me know what you guys think, but I might start combining them. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Give me a like if you like it, and hit sub if you want to see more videos like this. It's been your boy Shuggy. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.